talked on Sunday about, at least last Sunday being the bullpen day. Moving forward, are you still going to have those? That last game was still going to be a bullpen day, and I guess why are you in this kind of situation? Is it injuries or something else that put you in this situation?
It's a little bit of both. I mean, especially with Indiana, they had some left-handed hitting that we knew that Calvin Gunter was probably going to match up. He's probably been our best left-hander out of the bullpen. Mascarella's been good, but he's broken some team policies, so he wasn't with us for the Indiana series. So we knew we were going to have to use Gunter possibly on Friday, Saturday to get some lefties out, which he did come in on Friday and did a good job, which then meant on Sunday it was just going to be a matter of, again, just kind of piece it together. And with Schreiber being down, if Schreiber was healthy, then I don't think we'd be in that situation. But Morgan going Friday, Hayes on Saturday, we're still going to have to use bulk of the bullpen to get through those 2 days, and then to kind of see who's standing on Sunday. So not ideal, but it's worked, and the guys have 2 weeks in a row now have really taken to it, and but that's probably how we'll go about it.
You'd like to have everybody healthy and everybody on your team, but in a weird kind of way, it shows that, okay, you need everybody if you're going to pull this thing off.
I think even, and nothing against Matt Bischoff, because he was a great player for us for 4 years, but he was the guy. And when you lose a Matt Bischoff, I mean, everybody has to kind of step up and carry the load, because not one person's going to be able to put his load on their shoulder. So, even that, I think, has brought the pitching staff together somewhat, just that there's going to have to be a number of guys picking up the slack that that we have from losing a Matt Bischoff, and now that we've got Schreiber down and some other guys missing, that it just creates that even more.
Schreiber come back at all this year, or is it still undetermined?
Still probably to be determined, but from a coaching standpoint, we're pulling for him and hoping that it does, but we've got to kind of move forward and think that it's not, just so we're prepared for kind of a worst case scenario.
It's not. You talk Sunday, it's like, this is not do or die. You still feel that way going into this weekend?
Yeah, because now, again, I mean, if you're trying to win a championship, you can't get swept. But if you go up and you win one game and lose two, you're one game behind going in with 2 weekends left and 6 Big Ten games left. So there's still time. And being one down, I mean, you're in that hunt. So it's not do or die, but it's a little bit of a showdown, and the spotlight will definitely be on these two teams this weekend. Last week there were two first place teams up in East Lansing, with Penn State, because we were tied, three-way ties. So Michigan State's kind of been through it, and Indiana was just in first place 2 weekends ago. They were 6-3 and tied for first, and 2 weeks later they're back down in 7th place. So it can definitely change on you, but it's not do or die from the standpoint that you just have to win the series.
And then your last 2 weekends are at home, although it doesn't guarantee anything. But do you like the way it does set up that you guys are at home, regardless of who you're playing the last 2 weekends?
Yeah, and it's not like there's not a huge home field advantage or home crowd advantage. But at the same time, baseball is one of the few sports that the home team actually does have a strategic advantage for. You get that last at bat, so you can kind of figure out what you want to do. So and I think we've played well. We've played well on the road though as well. So, but I think it's going to benefit us to be at home and sleeping in our own beds and everything. So.
Bullpen has done, the last 2 or 3 Big Ten weekends.
They've really stepped up. I mean, you can't begin to count how many long, great outings that we've had from our starters. They've been unbelievable. Some of the best in the Big Ten, and I don't really watch the stats a whole lot, but from what I've seen, we've been one of the best staffs as far as starters have been, in the Big Ten. And there always comes a time in the season when it's time for someone else to kind of step up. And this past weekend and even the weekend before, it's kind of the bullpen's been called on a little bit, and I think we've answered the call pretty well. So it's the least we can do with as good as the starters have been. We're actually kind of happy to get on the field a little bit. It seems sometimes like we're getting anxious to get out there, and we've had our opportunities and we've done pretty well. So
the injury to Brad kind of has thrown Sunday into as Coach called it the other day, kind of a bullpen.
Yes.
Bullpen
It's
day.
a staff day.
Yeah.
Sometimes baseball players like to use staff day, and that's what it's turned into. And we just it's terrible to watch one of your players go down, and you never want to see an injury happen, especially to someone that's as talented as Brad is. I mean, he's one of the best pitchers we have, reliever, starter, whatever. And for him to go down like that's unfortunate, but like Coach says, it's opportunity for other guys to stand, step up, and I think we've done an okay job of doing that. So.
I guess the one question moving forward with 3 weekends left, can you continue to be successful in those kind of situations where you're having a staff day on Sunday?
Sure. I mean, we prepare to. I mean, that's why we're out here all week, and that's why we take the reps that we do, and we get the treatment that we need to get, and work out the way we work out. And you hope to. I don't want to jinx anything and guarantee anything. I'm not here to do that. But as long as we can continue to put up zeros on the board, our offense it has to be one of the best in the nation. We have some unbelievable hitters, and if you can put up zeros, that's what we want to do. If not, if you can keep it, 1 run, as long as you don't give up the big inning, that's pretty much all they ask of us as a staff. And I think if we keep doing that, we'll have a pretty good chance to continue to win.
I was going to ask, you're getting pretty good run support, starter or relievers.
Yes.
And how much does that allow you guys to relax out there on the mound, whether you're starting or you're coming out of bullpen?
Well, for me, I mean, just my first start in the Big Ten this year was at Northwestern. I always know that we're going to score runs. It's just a matter of when it'll come. And for us to come out that first inning, I don't remember what we scored. If it was 5, there we go, 5. I get a number 5, put up 5 runs in that first inning. It's huge. It takes a lot of pressure off the starter, and it gives you a chance to kind of give yourself an opportunity to get in kind of a groove and get kind of used to the mound, used to the hitters, and it's nice. And we always know that we're going to score runs. If it's not the first inning, it'll come in the third. If it's not in the third, it'll come in the fifth. If it's not in the fifth, it'll come in the ninth. It's going to come. Just like it showed the other game, in that 14-inning game. As a pitching staff, you go out there and if you can give up just one, just give up one, because the offense is going to help you out. And I think that's been part of the reason we've been so successful this year. So.
This weekend, a battle of the top 2 teams in the league, but you still have 3 weeks to go. So, do you look at this as okay, do or die, or just?
No, I would say nothing's do or die. I mean, Michigan State's a great team, and it's a great opportunity for us to go up there and play them at their place. That's exciting. I know we're all excited. We've got to focus on finals, but in the back of your mind, all right, well, how many more days do we have? What time are we leaving Thursday? When are we going to get up there? What's the plan? So, we'll go up there, and like Coach said, we'll do the best that we can. We can't guarantee any kind of outcomes, but I know we're going to give it everything we've got. If we come back with 1 win, 2 wins, 3 wins, no wins, then we'll kind of prepare. We've still got 6 more conference games left, and everything's so compact that no one's out of it yet, no one's won it yet. So it's nice to kind of know that. So there's not a whole lot of pressure on us. So.